Okay, so keeping your kids safe online, it can feel like this huge, overwhelming task, right? But what if there was a simple, really clear system you could follow? In this explainer, we're going to break down the essentials of digital safety into a guide that honestly puts you back in the driver's seat. Let's start by just getting a handle on the world we're all dealing with. Yeah, this is the big one. It's the question that probably keeps a lot of parents up at night. And the truth is, the online world, it's a totally new frontier for parenting. The old rules just don't always cut it anymore. So we need to start with a new way of looking at the whole thing.
So here's the first big mental shift. The internet isn't just a tool like a TV or a book. You have to think of it as a whole new environment. It's this wide open system where, let's be real, you can't control everything. The biggest risks are often hidden, and it's a place where our kids can interact with pretty much anyone. And that requires a whole new strategy.
And here is that strategy. See, this isn't about fear or just banning everything. It's a really simple three-part framework. First, we're going to limit the most serious risks. Second, we teach clear, easy-to-understand rules. And third, we help them form healthy, long-lasting habits. This is basically our roadmap for the next few minutes.
All right, so when we talk about risks, what do we actually mean? Let's dive into the three most critical danger zones that every single parent needs to understand and have a plan for.
Number one, and this is the big one, online strangers. Because the internet allows for total anonymity, anyone can pretend to be someone they're not. And that, of course, opens the door to manipulation, to fraud, or even to something much more dangerous.
This is maybe the most powerful idea you can give your kid. An online friend is just like a stranger on the street. It's such a simple analogy, but it makes this abstract, invisible danger totally concrete. I mean, you'd never let your child go off somewhere with a stranger in person, right? So the exact same rule has to apply online.
And that idea leads to some really clear, non-negotiable rules. These are their first line of defense. So, Rule 1, no chatting with people they don't know in real life. Rule 2, never ever send photos because those can be misused or shared everywhere. And Rule 3, and this is the most important one, absolutely never agree to meet someone in person without you there, period.
Okay, let's move on to risk number 2, protecting their personal data. In the digital world, you have to understand that information is basically currency. And for a kid, sharing too much can lead to anything from identity fraud all the way to real-world safety threats.
Here's another fantastic way to frame it for them. Your personal data, it's like the key to your house. You would never just hand that over to a stranger, would you? Well, the same thing goes for your address, your phone number, or even the name of your school. That stuff has to be locked down.
So the rules here are pretty straightforward. Never share those core personal details. Never enter that data into a website or an app without getting your permission first. And maybe the most important part, you have to create this open line of communication so they know to come tell you immediately if anyone online ever asks them for that kind of info.
And the third risk, now this one's a little trickier because it can sneak up on you, gadget addiction. This isn't just about how many hours they're on a screen, it's about how that time really affects their health. Messing with their sleep, killing their concentration, and creating a real emotional dependency. The whole philosophy here is about balance. This quote nails it perfectly. Technology and gadgets, they're amazing tools. They're great for learning, for fun, but they should never ever become the center of a child's life or their only way to be happy.
So the rules for managing this are all about building healthy habits. First, agree on a clear time limit for device use every day. Second, enforce regular breaks, make him get up and move around. And maybe the most critical one, establish a hard no gadgets rule before bedtime to protect their sleep. That one's a game changer.
Okay, so we've covered the risks and the rules for your child. Now let's talk about your role in all this, because really, it all boils down to finding that perfect balance between trust and control. It's really easy to get this wrong. Let's look at what doesn't work versus what does. Just banning everything? That usually just makes kids get sneaky. Punishing them for being honest about a mistake? That'll shut down communication for good. The effective way? It's built on open dialogue, trusting them, and having reasonable control. Your relationship is without a doubt the ultimate safety tool. To put that into practice, you've got to know what to watch for. Now, these aren't definitive proof of a problem, but they are absolutely red flags. If you see your child quickly hiding their screen when you walk in, or you notice these sudden mood swings, or they just can't seem to cope without their device, that's your signal to start a conversation.
All right, let's bring this home and make it super personal. We're going to run through a quick little risk test to help you figure out exactly where your family stands right now. And hey, be honest with yourself here.
First question, can your child chat freely with strangers online? If you don't have specific rules or any kind of monitoring in place, the answer is probably yes. Just think about the games and apps they use and who they can connect with on there.
Number 2, can your child post personal information without you knowing about it? Think about it. If they can post their school or where they are right now for anyone to see, that is a huge risk.
And finally, and this one ties right back to that whole trust thing, does your child hide their online activity from you? Remember that screen hiding behavior we talked about? That's a really key indicator.
So how'd you do? The crucial takeaway here is incredibly simple. If you answered yes to even one of those questions, a critical risk exists in your family's digital life. Now, this isn't about blame. Not at all. It's just a clear signal that now is the time to act and put some of these rules we've talked about into practice.
And you know, that really brings us full circle to the most important point of all. This was never about banning technology or taking away their fun. It's about empowering your child. Digital safety is a skill, and by limiting risks, teaching rules, and building habits, you are teaching them how to navigate their world safely. So the real question isn't, how do I restrict them? It's, how do I empower them?